What is going on, nerds and nerdettes? It is your boy Stevie B with yet another week's worth of haul videos. It was going to be a small one, but then a little, things took a slight little turn and it got a little bigger. It seems I found somebody contacted me on Facebook and from one of the groups, found out I was into comic books and had some that they wanted to sell. And at first I wasn't really interested, but they said, hey, they're just trying to find somebody a good home for them. Otherwise, she says they're going to the dump. I did not want them to go to the dump because they were not Valiant books. Now, if they had been Valiant books, I would have said, go ahead, don't waste a match on them. But they weren't, so we'll get to them. But let's just start it off with this week's Midtown haul, which is actually last week's new comic book day stuff, but you know how it works. All right, this one I was kind of excited for because there hadn't been a new one in a while, and I wanted to get in on it. It's a character that I like, and I was always wanting to get in on I'm trying to read the I'll never pronounce that, but wanted to get in on the ground floor, so I was waiting for them to start a new number one, and they did. So from the new Dawn of DC stuff, I know, another reboot, but anyway, it's Green Arrow number one, and I got the foily one. It's actually a gorgeous cover. That gorgeous foil. This camera doesn't do it justice, but beautiful book, beautiful cover. But I was looking forward to this one, so I had to jump on it. Next up, Venom Lethal Protector 2, number 2. And I'm going to pick these up because it's Venom. It's Lethal Protector. I will give him a shot. Oh, I forgot to mention Green Arrow. It's also the first appearance of a new character called Troublemaker. So, take that for what it's worth. But anyway, I'm going to pick up the Venom stuff. I'm usually going to. Just, it's one of those things that, I love the character so much that even when, it's not that great, I'm still going to get him. But, so I'll get him. And next up, it's another one of them FOMO books everybody's talking about. Actually, I think they're talking about the error print one, but I didn't get that one. But it sounded interesting, and it's by old Tiny Onion himself, Tinian. So it's World Tree number 1. Loosely, it's about some kids that discover the Undernet, which is like a branch or a secret hidden branch, like the dark web. It's kind of like the dark web of the internet, and they post about it on a message board that's called World Tree, and something evil hacks into the message board, whatever, and starts wreaking havoc. So it sounded kind of interesting, so I'll give it a read, and we'll go with it. Give it a shot. This one, honestly, I'm just trying to get this whole Ronin thing put together. This whole issue, to be honest with you, I'm just going to turn around and sell them. So if you're interested in the first, in the original Ronin series, and then these little lost years, whatever, I think I actually missed one of them. But if you're interested in picking up the Ronin series, the originals, I think my number 1 is actually a retailer incentive copy with I can't remember how many. Be honest with you, I can't remember how many copies there were. I want to say it was either 750 or 1200. I can't remember, but it's pretty low print run. But if you're interested in it, hit me up. I'll make you a deal. We'll work something out, and I'll get them to you. I'm not a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan. Everybody was just talking about how awesome that story was, so I picked it up with the intention of reading it, and I didn't. Next up, Grimm number 10. Gorgeous Virgin variant cover. Love it. If you ain't reading this is a really good one. I would check it out. I'm a couple issues behind, but I've been reading that, and it's really, really good. Next up, the Hulk. I want to say this is number 12 because it's a Virgin variant. I want to say it's either number 12 or number 14. I can't remember. But the latest issue of the Hulk. And I did get the timeless Alex Ross timeless cover. I love Alex Ross. I do. He's one of my favorite artists. I really like him. But these timeless covers with the plain white background and just the face of the characters on them are becoming redundant now, and they're just getting old. It's like the Gleason Webhead covers, the Negative Space covers. You know, they found something that was kind of cool at first, and people loved it, and then they just saturated the market with them and just made them again. And that's kind of where these timeless covers are getting to be. It's like, okay, what made them cool to begin with was they were unique, you know. But now that everybody's doing them, or now that they're doing them every issue of every book for every year, they're not unique anymore, and they've just lost something. And this is the unstoppable shit. Damn it. I can't now. My brain just locked up. The Unstoppable. You probably already know it. You already figured it out before I even got it out of the bag, and you're going, yeah. It's the Unstoppable Doom Patrol number 2, and this is the glow in the dark cover, and it comes with the blank protective cover over it. That's why I was having trouble. But it is first appearance. Worm and Velvet. Gonna give it a shot. I don't know. But anyway, that takes care of my Midtown pickups. Honestly, the things I'm most excited about are the Green Arrow. And I'm kind of excited to read that World Tree and get caught up on Grimm. So that's cool. Next up, I had to have this book. Had to. And it is limited. There's only 25 of them in the world. But, and a little backstory on this. When I was young, I know it's hard to believe, but I was young one time. But I thought I had a thing for Janet Jackson, and it took off all the way up through adulthood. I just thought Janet Jackson was one of the most gorgeous women there ever walked the face of the earth. And that lasted all the way up till the Super Bowl incident, when he yanked her thing off and she had that throwing star piercing stuck to her boob, and it just kind of turned me off. I was like, oh God, why? But anyway, they say, they can never live up to your imagination. That's why they say some things are best left to imagination, which is why I loved the Janet Jackson's Rolling Stone cover. You know the cover. She's standing there with, topless, and some guy's got his hands covering up her boobs. That guy, interesting fun fact, the guy that was actually standing behind her covering her boobs was, his name was, oh crap, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Starts with an L. Yeah. Oh, Lucky Bastard. Yeah, that's who it was. Lucky Bastard. But anyway, that Rolling Stone cover was just so hot. And so when my buddy Luis over at Comic Vantage told me he was going to have a homage to that Rolling Stone cover done with Patriotica #1, I was like, yeah, I gotta have one. So I picked up the the foil, the trade dress foil one, only 25 copies of this. There were some metal ones and there were some topless ones. So see, your boy doesn't always go topless. And there was a virgin variant of this. But I wanted one that was true to the Rolling Stone cover, that looked the most like it. And topless one doesn't really homage that cover like I wanted. So I had to get one that, I mean, that's a good homage of that, and love it. Head over to comicvantage.com. I think he's still got some left, but they're very, very, very low print run. But oh my gosh, that is so cool. Had to have it. All right, next up is my Whatnot pickups. Yes, I was on Whatnot. Yeah, I don't care. Yes, I know they're the influences, but you don't have to support the influences. These are the little guys just trying to make a buck selling comic books. You know, you don't have to go on there and support Nerdy Girl. You don't have to go on there and support Comic Tom or all those people y'all hate. You can go on there and support the little guys just trying to make a buck the best they can. And that's who these guys were. But he threw up, he missed, here's the bad thing about it. If somebody is wanting to buy some of your stuff, and I'd asked him specifically for some books, and he said, oh yeah, I got quite a few of those. And I was like, okay, throw them up. I'm interested in them. I would have bought every one of them that he had, but he would throw one of them up and then go on to something else for a while, and then he would throw another one up, and then I was like, hey man, I mean, I'm not trying to rush you, but I'm really interested in those Daredevil books, and I'm fixing to leave here in about 10 minutes. So, throw them up there and I'll buy them. I'm sitting there telling him I'm gonna buy them if you throw them up. And so he threw one more up, and then he'd go on to something else. Well, he piddled around, and I had to go before he got them. So I got 4 of them that I didn't have, and that was Daredevil from the Frank Miller run. If you remember, I was trying to put that run together. So I then ended up getting 185, 186, 187, and 188. Awesome run fillers for my Daredevil Frank Miller run. I'm trying to put together all the Frank Millers. That helps with the dent. But he said he had several more, and I'm like, throw them up there, dude. I'll buy them. But he didn't want to, I guess. So I didn't get them all. I had to leave. Anyway, which brings me to, that would have been the end of my haul, but this brings me to my little Facebook pickup. I lost one of the books. Oh, there it is. Okay. Leads me to my Facebook pickup. So I joined a little local group, and we moved to the little small town here in Arkansas, and a lot of people, when they live in these small towns, they join a Facebook community group to kind of post news about the city and stuff like that. So I joined it, kind of introduced myself and what I was into and stuff, and I throwed up that I really liked comic books, and that, pimp the YouTube channel a little bit, see if I could get a subscriber or two, because I've been hovering at 1,100 now for like 6 months. Just stopped. I don't know what's going on, but I'm boring, I guess. But anyway, but she contacted me, and at first it was funny because she says, would you be interested in the first 10 Detective Comics? And I was like, do what? The first 10 Detective Comics? She says, and I said, are you sure that's the first 10 Detective Comics? She said, yes. And I said, do you have a picture of those? She goes, not with me, but I can get one. And I'm like, well, I was like, I don't think you have what you think you have. I said, I can almost guarantee you don't have the first 10 Detective Comics. And I said, if you do, I couldn't afford to buy them from you if you did. I said, those are from 1937, 38. And I said, those are old and rare. So then she says, let me double check. And then she comes back the next day. Then she goes, oops, my mistake. I don't have the first 10 DC or Detective Comics. I was like, I didn't think you did. I said, you're looking at close to $250,000 but what she did have was the first, actually first 12 minus number 8 issues of The Shadow. The first little mini 12-part mini series for the DC threw together. The Shadow was what was the name of that? It was It started off as a radio show, and popularity garnered it so that it come out in the comic books for a while, but eventually it ended up in the hands of DC. I was reading the story about this stuff, and now my brain's locked up and can't remember. I just remember it was back in 40 something, I think. I don't remember. But anyway, it was a radio show, and the popularity, people started asking for the magazine, the Shadow magazine, because it was such a popular radio show. So they did some magazines, but then DC in the 70s, 75, I think, got a hold of the property and made a little 12-issue miniseries, and that's this. 1 through 9 are in really, really good shape, or 1 through 10. Like I said, it's missing number 8. 11 and 12 are a little beat up, but these are in really good shape for 70s. I mean, but I didn't want to see her throw them away. So I said, look, that number 1 is the only one that really has any value. And I said, and it's right around the $10 mark. And she said, I'll sell them all to you for $10. So I was like, oh, just keep from throwing them away. I'll take them, I guess. So I picked them up, and they were in good condition. They're kind of cool little collection to put together. Number 1, number 2, like I said, they're in really decent condition for as old as they are, and coming from somebody who, they weren't in bags and boards, and so this was from somebody who knew nothing about comics, didn't collect, didn't even know to protect them. So the fact that these things don't have a single spine tick on number 1, just a little, maybe a little tiny bend in the corners, and number 2 has a few tiny spine ticks. Number 3 didn't have anything. This thing looks like it could be an 8.5 to 9.0 candidate, but I mean, they're in beautiful condition. So I was kind of happy to get them. Same with number 4. I mean, this thing's in really great condition. Or I could sell them. So if anybody is interested, like I said, number 5, they're in really, really good, I'd say very fine to very fine plus on some of these in condition, except for, like I said, that was number 5. Number 6, I'm just kind of looking at a glance, I'm saying number 6, number 7, this one's got a little bit of a spine tick there and there. Ironically, the older ones are in better condition than the newer ones, but that's number 7. Still, I mean, for 1975, 76, and this is a Joe Kubert cover, so, and this is number 9, and it's in really good condition. Benefit from a press, got a little bit of a dog ear on one corner. But I mean, still pretty good. And of course, like I said, there's no number 8, so that was number 9. Number 10, like I said, they start to get a little bit of spine ticks. There's like 4 or 5, 6 little spine ticks on there, and a little dog ear in the corner. But again, like I said, 1975. I mean, these things are just old. And this one's a little bit of a beater. Number 11. I mean, that's got spine ticks all the way up the side of it. That's probably the worst condition. Well, the last two are the worst condition. Anyway, number 9, number 10. This one's just got it all up the top. But anyway, and then she decided, well, I found another comic I just threw in just for fun. And I thought it was actually kind of cool. I wish I knew who did this cover art, but from the 70s as well. It's like Classics Illustrated Junior. The Ugly Duckling, number 502. Thought it was kind of cool. I've never even heard of this imprint. Illustrated Classics Junior. But pretty cool. Anyway, I was like, well, I mean, I can't let her dump them in the trash. I couldn't let her dump them in the trash. They're still cool books. I might sell them. If you're interested in them, I get somebody out there probably appreciates them more than I do. If you're interested in them, hit me up. We'll work out a deal on them. But anyway, that is the haul. Pretty good size one this time. I got some cool stuff this time. I was pretty happy. Next week's haul might be a little thinner, but everybody's got that 1 week of the month where all your bills are due and you kind of got to pinch your pennies. Well, that's next week for me. Plus, it's my mother's birthday and it's Mother's Day coming up, so I got to save some money back for that. So we'll probably have a little smaller haul next week. Excuse me, but we'll still have something. We'll still do something. I promise. But anyway, I got to get out of here. I got to mow the lawn. 'Tis that time of the year, man. Time to do the lawn work again. Well, it's worth it though, because I don't miss winter. But anyway, before you go, if y'all would do those YouTube things that we love for you to do, like, subscribe, comment, share, and all that good stuff, I would greatly appreciate it. Help grow the channel. But that's going to do it for this one. We will see you guys in the next one. Peace.